Welcome to the One Love, One Faith podcast, where we use the love of Christ and faith in His Word to navigate Christian living in the 21st century. Remember to follow us on social media at onelove_onefaith.
Hello, everyone.
Hello out there.
I'm Arinthia.
And I'm Camille.
And you're listening to the One Love, One Faith podcast.
Thanks for joining.
Unique.
Okay, guys. It is episode 31.
31.
Yes. And it's the Love Zone.
It is the Love Zone. So we about to go into some little topic. You know what I mean? Yes. Yes.
Okay, so just a little, minor update on the little, on the countries, on the international level,
We international, baby.
So, of course, U.S. and Jamaica, you have spot number 1 and number 2 on lock. Okay?
Amen. Can I just say this about my Jamaican people? My people, them. Thank y'all so much for the support. I absolutely just love just how you guys, I always say this, but it's just so overwhelming to hear them say, yo, like, where the link at though? Like, what you playing, what you smoking?
Yeah.
Like, where the link at? And I love that so much. So thank you guys so much. You know what I mean?
Yes, we're very grateful for you. And even though my little co-host here likes to challenge my Jamaican blood, she's not the only one bringing Jamaican listeners to the podcast, so I love y'all too. Okay, thank you.
All right, yeah, you first generation American. It's okay.
Anyway, yes, but the interesting thing is that Germany and Spain, they are battling for spot number 3.
Look,
like it's just flip flop every single week, like boom, 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 and then it's like the difference is like by just a few. It's just,
you know what? We love y'all too. We love it. We wish you guys would reach out to us and let us know. Come on, guys.
Yeah, email us. We're so curious.
Oh, we want to know, like, okay, what do you guys think? How is there any barrier between languages? Like, hello, hit us up. What do you guys think? We want to know.
We do want to know. So, anyway, I don't know. I can't declare a winner for spot 3 because
they're back and
they're
forth.
battling it out. So we'll let you know.
All right. Yes. Yeah. So, we appreciate you guys so much, and spread the word. Spread the word. This is about Christ, and young people trying to find our way to Christ. And like we said, we don't have it perfect, but we trying.
We are. All
right.
Okay, so the get to know you question, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very closely related to our topic, which we haven't told you yet, but the question is, would you relocate for love?
For love.
For love.
For love.
That's when it's real, when you drop the last.
Yeah.
Love. No V. Love.
Honestly, I would. It just depend on, it depends on, what's going on. Like, if we have decided that, hey, we are going to, if we're going to, be married in the future or what have you, maybe I would probably like, hey, let me just move out there, get an apartment out there, trying to figure out how we work, if we're compatible enough, because sometimes, like talking over the phone, we can seem all jolly well, and cute or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you are spending a lot of time, you get to see more of this person's personality, and then you see, I don't know, so.
Right.
Short answer. Yes, I would, but not for anybody. It has to be somebody that I'm serious about, and somebody that I know, or I am kind of like, okay, this might be the
really
one.
Committed to,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You? Oh Lord.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would, but yeah, the same thing. Like it's like, okay, what level are we on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be serious because, that's a big deal to change. I mean, it might involve changing, of course, 9 times out of 10, it's going to involve changing your job and, just a lot of things. So I would have to, but I would definitely do it. But the thing is, would you do it? Okay, so we live in the United States right now. And so it's one thing to like hop a couple states over or even cross country. What about internationally? Would you like move to like another country, somewhere that speaks a different language or something like that? Would you?
I think that would be very intriguing, actually.
Yeah.
I probably would, but I would have to probably do like mad research because I want to know, like, say for instance, it's like Australia or one of them places.
Yeah.
And I want to know that they're welcoming to people like me because I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to be like a needle in a haystack, So I want to know, like, yo, how are these people, So I guess I would. I think for me, honestly, I feel like I could live anywhere. I'm chill. Like, I don't really care.
You could. Okay.
I could.
No, I think I could too. But like I said, once it gets to that point, I feel like it's serious.
Yo, like you get nervous.
Right. Like it's got to be
nervous.
serious for those kinds of moves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think before you do that. But I don't see anything wrong with it. As long as you feel as long as, right? Because I think a lot of people, when they tend to move, it's always like, oh, maybe sometimes it's just focused on one person, like, oh, you're moving for this person. It's almost like you're rearranging your entire life and not necessarily plan yours out. So make sure if you're moving, you have to make the preparations to be like, okay, maybe my job can transfer me here for you
too,
right? And hopefully your partner will help you to make that transition also.
Right. Okay. So we agree. Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
Under certain circumstances.
Your future husband, so if you're trying to, we would.
So that brings us into the topic for Love Zone today, which is
long distance relationships.
Yeah.
Long
distance relationships.
So, friend.
Yes.
I want to ask you, have you ever been in a long distance relationship?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yes. To answer that question. But let me tell you this.
What?
Long distance relationship is not for the faint of heart.
Would you do it again?
It is not. It depends.
Okay.
It all depends. I would have to see how this person is. It's very difficult. And honestly, the last experience that I had, I probably would really be skeptical about it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult. It really is very challenging. But we gonna get into these. Yeah. But what about you?
Yeah. Just like the get to know you question. I would, under the right circumstances. I mean, at this point in my life, I feel like moving for someone or embarking on a long distance relationship would have to come with, some seriousness.
Yeah.
At this stage of my life.
Yeah, that mug is difficult.
Yeah.
It is. Ooh, I feel it in my back already.
But we live in a world of technology. So, I mean, FaceTime, video chat, there's so many platforms that you can use that, basically makes the world a smaller place. So it makes the distance feel smaller. I mean, I know there's no perfect substitute for physical contact, but technology really has a lot to offer.
Honestly, friend, I'm going to say, like, even when we have access to all these different resources, I feel like it's still super difficult to maintain a healthy relationship with your partner. It takes a lot of hard work to make these relationships work.
No,
it really does.
No, it does. I mean, relationships take work, and then, I feel like there's added work when you're trying to shorten the distance between you, and then the travel, and there's a lot to work out. The events you can make it to or not, and that is the hardest part for me, is like wanting to share things together, but like you get a wedding invite, it might not be the right time, or maybe he was, just visiting the other day, so now you had no date, or you get invited somewhere and they can't always come with your friends, and your friends are doing couple things, and you're like the fifth wheel, because you got a man or you got a girl, but they don't.
Let me tell you,
they don't live by you guys, so you're,
Let me tell you this. I have been third wheeling all my life.
Oh Lord!
All my life I had to fight, bro. I have been doing third wheeling all my life. I had to sit with my best friend with his love interests. I have to sit with my best friend through his exclusive relationships.
Yeah.
I had to sit and watch everybody go on dates, and I'm just here chilling.
Yeah.
It's difficult when
happens.
you have, it's difficult when you have a partner that is 3,000 miles away in a different country, and you're just like, what am I going to do? And out of respect for that person, you're like, I can't bring another person without you feeling some type of way. Right. So,
and you can't just, you can't chill on the weekend, have Netflix night on the couch together. When you're sick, they're not always there to nurse you. And even for them, when they're doing things and you would want to support them at, a function or event or a project they're working on, and you just can't be there all the time. So I think for me, that's the hardest part.
For real. The hardest part for me, and I'm talking from experience, honestly, is the hardest thing for me is when your person, the lack of communication, right? That's within relationships. And honestly, sometimes it can create insecurities due to that, right? It's very difficult when you're a communicator and your partner is not, right? So you are a person who expresses everything. For me personally, if we have a fight, we gotta talk. Don't come and be like, hey, babe, nah, hold up.
Right, but they're not there in your presence and to read them.
Right. So when you are a person who likes to discuss what happens, and then the other spouse is like it's not like you can go to their house and hash it out. You know, we just gotta deal with it when we can, and that is frustrating because you are a person who's just I need to speak about this because if we don't, I can't sweep it under the rug. That's not me. I can't fake it. I'm not one to fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that. I really don't.
Yep.
So it's difficult when you are that person and your person is another, they don't really communicate their feelings. You hear about it 15 months after, first of all, hold up. You had 50, that was a year ago, right?
Right.
And so that's super difficult when you're trying to have a healthy relationship.
Long distance one,
Which,
right. If you, communication issues are going to happen either way, but they definitely make things more complicated in a long distance one. But on the other hand, distance does force you to get to know each other. I feel, on a deep personal level, because that it's more emotional, I feel. Because you don't have that physical pressure. And sometimes I'm using the word pressure because, we're living a certain lifestyle where we're trying to prevent sexual intimacy. Not intimacy, but sexual intimacy. And so when you're far apart, ta-da! Problem solved.
I think that you're right, though. It forces us to find more creative ways to engage with each other. Help us, and also, let's be real, it helps us to stay in line with what God commands us to do.
Right. When you are together, of course, there's pressure, but
of course,
you spend most of your time apart. So
when you look, man, ain't no fornicating going on. We chilling. We're having a good time. And I think that also helps you to be it helps. I think sometimes it makes your relationship stronger depending on the person that you're dating.
True.
Right?
Yeah, it depends on your communication styles and things like that. But for me, I've always found that, the conversations are deeper. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know. Because for me, when I left, so my long distance relationship was with my partner who was in Jamaica. We were talking since high school, and we dated for 7 years.
Yeah.
So what happened was that when I came to America, things started to I became so in high school I was just turning up. I was just look, mine. The Lord was not, the Lord was working on me. And so now that when I found Christ and I started to just chill, I started to change a little bit. And because I was here and he wasn't here in terms of my spiritual growth, it was difficult because now we find that we don't really have much to talk about. And when we do talk about Christ, it's almost I'm talking about it, and we even if I say, hey, let's study together. It's difficult because he's not there yet.
Right.
And so it was very difficult to even have those conversations and to and also to find deeper connections, because we're like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
So honestly, sometimes it was difficult because he's doing this, I'm doing that, and it was just a lot.
Yeah.
It was. So, child, like I say, it's not for the faint at heart. It's really not.
Yeah, it takes a certain level of commitment, and since we both have experienced it,
don't do it.
Then we've developed some things, that we think can help you decide if it's for you or if you're in it, to make it maybe a little easier. So long distance relationships are definitely something you might want to not participate in if you have trust issues.
Yes.
You definitely want to get those worked out before it, because there's something about the distance. Like, we have to trust our partners, obviously. You are not with them 100% of the time. But when it's long distance, it's a different kind of trust.
A different type.
Because you're not like coming to their house in the evening. You're not, you're away from them for weeks and sometimes months, months at a time. And yeah, right. You have to trust them.
And especially now your partner is far away from you, right?
Yeah.
They're meeting new people and you're like, I don't know who those are. And so now it's almost like, yo, you talking to a dude though. Or yo, you're talking to a girl. Like, who is she?
Yeah.
I haven't met her. Why haven't you introduced her? Who is that dude? Like, he talking mad loud in your house. Like, and all those different type of stuff just keep, it's hard. It's really hard because now you're away and you are forced to be like, yo, I trust you. And I've heard this before. I trust you. I just don't trust them.
Right.
But which is a lie. You don't trust me either. But yeah, trust is a huge thing. Yes. Because if you don't, you will go crazy because you start making up scenarios in your head. Right. You have a whole movie, whole scene, cut, play, start, replay, everything in your mind. It's just... It's
and I've heard of people doing like outrageous things in a relationship, wanting to always check each other's phone and turn on location without their knowledge and stuff like that. And so if you're into some of those like a little unhealthy behaviors, then you're going to have to put that in check because it is going to drive you mad inside a long distance relationship.
Absolutely though.
Yeah. It's also not for you, or it will be harder for you if physical touch is your primary love language, because needing that affection, that physical affection from your partner, that closeness, skin to skin contact and everything, like you can't do it all the time. And you can't do it with anyone else either because you're committed to this person. So it can be very hard. It can be very difficult. Yeah.
Facts.
Not saying that your relationship might not be worth the difficulty. Yeah. But it is difficult.
It is difficult for real. You want to hold your partner's hand. I mean, even if you're not cuddled up, the simple fact of you guys just being in the same place, like that can weigh on the relationship and even weigh on another person and also push them to do other things. You may never know. So, just weigh out these things before you know.
Like, speaking personally for me, physical touch is low, very low on my love language list. Of course, everyone needs it, wants it in their relationship, but it's low on mine. But for someone who... I've dated people that it's really high on their list, and I've seen, they need it, they crave it. And so I'm imagining for someone who really speaks that language, it would be just... it'd be real difficult.
For me, it's more of like, I'm okay if I don't get it. I'm okay if I do. Like, I don't care, really. My thing is act of service. Like, show me that you love me, not just tell me. Like, positive words of, like, affirmation. I already told myself that. You don't have to tell me that. I need to see that your words are matching with your actions. I need to see that the way that you say you care, that you actually do through your actions. Yeah. So I think that's my love language. I think that's my number one. Yeah. All right. So long distance relationship may not be for you, or maybe difficult for you. Yeah. If you are not a communicator. Like I said before, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you have unhealthy ways of communicating how you feel, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult, right? Because one person is feeling like, okay, we good, and you're over there, a whole ball game is going on in your mind.
Right.
And so you're not communicating how you feel. One person's over here, and it's just a whole lot of mess. It's just a whole lot of mess. And so if you are going to be doing that, right, there's supposed to be constant communication and also healthy communication.
Exactly.
I cannot stress the healthy part enough, because people feel like because they talk a lot, that means that, oh, it's good, we're communicating. But if you talk a lot and all you're doing is like, yo, you're not even, I don't even know who that is, I don't even know who you're hanging around with, that's toxic.
Right.
It really is. So if you are not a communicator, it's just gonna be difficult, and your partner is going to feel some type of way, especially if they are a communicator.
Right. Healthy communicator.
Yep. Next one, friend. Long distance relationship may be difficult for you if you're a person who has no problem malicing your partner for days. Like, that is
Like
not
punishing them by withholding your communication.
Right. Be like, I'm not talking to you. Like, days. Like, first of all, 2 days gone and we ain't together no more. I'm joking, but there shouldn't.
I'm not. If you don't talk to me, I'm be like, who this?
Be like, yo, who this? Yeah. Be like, no, it'd be like, Tyrone. Who Tyrone? Tyrone, your boyfriend. I'm like, Tyrone? I ain't got a number in my phone, but I never Tyrone.
Like that if
Tyrone,
we're not
I don't know you.
Right.
I do not know you.
If we're not in a long distance relationship and you take 48 hours to talk to me, I'm gonna be like, excuse me?
Eh? Who this again?
What?
What you say? Right. You should never, ever, ever go days without speaking to your partner. I personally, I can't go even hours without talking to my partner. Like, I feel like it's really childish to be like, no, I'm not talking to you. Like, you made me upset today, I'm not talking to you. Okay, like, give it a few hours. Cool.
I mean, sure, it could happen.
But a whole day, 2 days? No. What kind of anger do you have that long?
Maybe that's how some people operate, whether or not the distance is there.
I do not like
we're
that.
just suggesting it's not a healthy way in a long distance one.
You know what's funny? I have dated someone who was like, they don't talk when like we have like an argument. They don't talk. I'm like, who raised you?
Well, what if they need time to flesh it out in their mind, and then do they come to you later to talk about it, or no?
They just like sweep it over. I'm like, whoa,
they never come back to talk about it.
And it's funny. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but it's always them who has the issue. I'm not, because I promise you, I'm so chilled. I'm just like it is what it is. Like, that's always my friend gets annoyed by this. My best friend, he gets annoyed by this because he's like, why do you always do that? Because I'm not about to argue. It is what it is. Do what you want to do. I'm not. I got too much time. First of all, when you argue, that gives you high blood pressure. That's in my family. I can't do that.
No high blood pressure.
No, I can't. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just not in me.
Oh my goodness. All right. So next on the list, if you believe that you are a clingy person, then it can be really hard because your person's not there to cling to. Right. So if you're someone who, requires a lot of attention and maintenance and all of that, it can be really difficult to sign up for a long distance relationship.
You might want to think about that before, especially when you always want to, like, where are you going? I want to come. Like, you're going to the store. I want to come. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, we were born together, okay? Like, I would be annoyed by that, honestly, because if I want to go with my girls, like, I don't want us to be like together all the time. Like, I'm my own person, and you are your own person.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
borderline.
Really?
Yeah, like if the person's down for it, I might be a little clingy.
Really?
Yeah, like always doing stuff together. Oh, yeah, sure.
I feel like, honestly, like, I want there to be like days when, like, you just go chill with your boys.
No, of course.
Let me have my moment.
Right. No, I agree. I'm the kind of person who actually, like, as an introvert, I really like my alone time, like, But when I'm in a relationship, then most of that time away from, if I'm not with my friends, then
You know what we should do?
I'm with him.
When we get married, we have family, right? We should have our girls' night and our husbands have like their boys, like not girls' night, but like say self-care Sundays still.
Yeah.
And they have their whatever they do. I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Or maybe they play football or soccer, whatever they do. And we have our little time, and we go to the spa because they be stressed.
They'll put it on the same day.
Exactly. Let them do what they do because they're gonna be friends. Y'all gonna be friends.
So future husbands, we're just letting you know, like we're all gonna be a friend clique. So
yeah.
It is.
It's easier for you guys. You don't have to go out there and find friends.
Right.
We have friends right here.
Right here.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we're forcing that friendship. Just so you know, dear future husband.
She comes with a package. Sorry. All right. This might be difficult for you, right? A long distance relationship might be difficult for you if you're a person who struggles with separating from your loved ones or your partner, right? A lot of people have separation anxiety from just being away from the people that they love. Yeah. They find it difficult to function, find it difficult to, go about their day-to-day life without, their partners. That's going to be challenging for you, boo. So I think that we have to think about these things before, we go into that. And honestly, we can have the mature conversation. If your partner has to move, or say, for instance, like what I did, I just upped and I left. I'm deuces.
Right.
You guys can have that conversation. And sadly, I wasn't mature enough, or either of us wasn't mature enough to be like, yo, so how this gonna work? Like, what we doing? Like, we weren't mature enough to have that conversation. Do we want to do this? Is it possible? Girl, we were so in love. We were like, okay, we're gonna be together forever.
Well, I mean, you were what, 18, 19?
I was 18.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah.
However,
yeah,
if you find yourself, entering one, you're on the brink of a long distance one, or, you're in a relationship, but one party has to go move away for some period of time or what have you, then we have, some tips that will help make it work. Okay.
We're going to drop some gems on y'all.
We're going to try.
As always. Thank you.
So obviously you're going to see each other at times, and you have to find ways to make those visits really special, I mean, of course it's okay to just enjoy each other's company and stay inside and all of that, but find ways, this is your time. So obviously when they're visiting or when you're visiting them, it's going to be a lot of, together time, and you should find really special activities to do together.
I agree. There's nothing more
plan
than
it out.
Right. Especially if you feel like this person is your person. So many different memories that you could just like, oh, we did this again. Oh, this is when you came and you visited. This is our first year. This is our second year. Oh, but it feels so good because not only are you making this work, but you guys are miles apart and you're actually making time for each other. I think that is absolute key. Visiting your partner as much as possible should be a priority.
Right. Obviously harder when it takes, a flight or international travel, I don't know what the schedule is or how frequent it can be. Or if one person has a really demanding job, it can be difficult. But those visits are really important. Because they break up the long stretches you have to do without them.
Yeah. For people who, like, are in different countries, it could be like a year span, Yeah. So it is very important that we schedule these things and we make it a priority. And what is crazy is that when we do these things and we plan, like one person shouldn't be like the person who's just like putting out like, hey, like we should do this. Hey, you should come and visit me. Like that's so annoying when you're the only person that's planning and you're like, yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming. Oh yeah, I'm coming. That's fine. Yeah. Just...
You mean when the travel's one-sided?
Yeah. It's almost like one person pushing for another person to like be there, right? And it's almost like, okay, do you want to come or not? Because now
you still want to see each other in that person's environment. Yeah. So at some point, it should be both people traveling to the other person.
And try
as much as possible, right?
Another tip for making a long distance relationship work is continue to do cute, meaningful gestures, right?
Yeah.
Distance should not stop you from doing nice things for your partner, even if they're just simple things.
Yeah.
Even if they're just like, hey, sending a little cute message in the morning, this and that entire, like, I cannot tell you how many things that I have done, like even in America, just for like a partner who's set it up. Like, I'm a person who's very spontaneous, so and don't let it be one-sided. It annoys people when it's people. I'm just talking about me. I'm sorry. Don't let it be one-sided, guys.
No, it's not supposed to be. I think, the romance has to continue despite the distance. So, in fact, maybe it has to be more intense because you're making up for the distance. You're not there in person. So, still arrange delivery of things and find ways to almost make them feel like, you're kind of there.
Right. And
you're not.
Get to know their friends, because they can help you with a lot of stuff.
True.
Like, I am a person who just, like, you would call me up and be like, yo, I want to surprise my girl. I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. Let's go. Like, I'm always a person who is going to always be like, yes, I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it does help to have like an in with the people around them.
Yes. Yeah. So get to know their friends and see how you can surprise your partner. It just means the world to them,
It's not that, I mean, I don't know. I know it comes more naturally to some people, but even if it's a hard thing for you, just try.
Right.
Find some ideas. Remember, there's lots of ideas out there.
Right. And if you're worried about prices, over here they have $4 flowers, $4.99
Here
flowers.
she goes.
At Walmart, and they have like $1 gift card, like $1 like Hallmark cards at Dollar Tree. So I'm like, you could like, if you're in Jamaica and you're trying to surprise your girl, that would probably be like $600. That's like $6 in American dollars. I mean, but what did I know? I don't know.
She's always talking about these $4 flowers. All right, friend, let's move on for you. Get on the table.
Yeah. Because you know me. All right, so with doing these like meaningful gestures, right? It's important too, or you could always try, right?
Yeah.
To do activities together, right? Like we said, technology makes it a little bit easier for us to like communicate, right?
Right, activities together during
Virtually.
The distance, right?
Right. So you could set up a night and be like, hey, we do this thing where we do, what is it, teleparty? Or is Netflix party?
Yeah, teleparty, I think.
Right.
It's it's a extension on your Chrome browser.
Right. So it's an extension on our Chrome browser, and we have like girls' movie night.
Yep.
And so every Saturday evening after the Sabbath, we would, hey, send the link, and all of us watch the movie. We can chat, we can type it in, and so forth and so forth. And we are on FaceTime while we're doing that also.
Right.
So, even if you're cooking, you're like, what are you cooking today? All right, let's cook together. Like, if you're studying, even if it's on being on the phone, silence, doing stuff together makes it way more manageable.
Right, because distance doesn't mean that you can't, like you said, watch a movie together, watch a TV series or a show together, do devotions together, read books together, like still find creative ways to do activities together. And also communication through social media apps, which I think happens like in our generation. I think that happens regardless of whether or not you're in a close relationship or a long distance one, but I think more so in a long distance,
Yeah, girl, they
really,
be posting. That's my bad.
Slide in their DMs.
Right. Be like, I saw you post. Oh, you look nice today.
Right.
You know how that is. Right. There's so many different things that we could actually do. Like, you can legit just like try even to, like, what if, like, say, make it spontaneous. Act like you don't even know your partner. Hey, I'm sorry. I just saw your picture and I thought you were just the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Like, you'd see a guy and you're like, I don't normally do this.
Yo,
but I think you're
my
really
friend
cute.
got game.
Like, don't play with me. Come to me correctly. Who are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to? Guys, come on. Step your game up. Ladies, step your game up. Come on.
Yeah, you do have to be creative. I mean, I feel like these are general relationship, tips. It's just that you got to go harder a little bit, if it's long distance.
And sometimes when you're in the position, you're really not even thinking about it. You're like, what are we going to do? Like, how can we make this work?
Right.
We got you.
Yeah.
We're giving y'all gems. We need to start having sound clips. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We gotta have those again coming. Like we
Not
have to
the
find those.
Foghorn.
Yeah, I'm serious. We need them.
So the next two, I mean, we mentioned them as deterrents. If you don't have healthy styles of trust and communication, then it's a deterrent from, long distance relationships. So here's how to do it in a positive way, right?
Okay.
Trust is, we've already said it, it's a must, okay?
Facts.
So you can't see your partner and what they're doing most of the time, and it's not like having them right there in your city, okay? And you know how people say absence makes the heart grow fonder? Well, there's another version that says absence makes the heart grow fonder for someone else.
Now that's cold.
Okay?
That is cold. That is
But
cold.
no, that does not have to be true, okay? You have, there just has to be trust. There's no way around it because it's a different game than being able to be around all the people that your partner comes in contact with when they live around you.
Yeah. And I think a great way to build trust as you go through like long distance relationship is to set ground rules to like manage your expectation, right?
Exactly.
So like even before you leave or before you go on whatever move that you're going to make, like you and your partner sit down, and if you are younger, we're talking to you guys too, like you can do this as well, right? I am sad that we didn't have the knowledge that we have now to navigate through these relationships. We're just like, girl, we love each other. Okay, we boot up. Okay, Tyrone. Okay, Shaniqua.
Right.
All of us are just like so, captivated by our partners that we are not even having these conversations. But now we have the knowledge and we want to share it, right? So when you are about to embark on this journey, right? I think it's important to talk about your expectations, what you expect in order to be satisfied in your relationship. What do you expect in order for this to work for you?
Right.
And it has to be communicated with your partner too, and both sides have to respect and work towards those expectations.
Right, like just say, hey honey, I just really appreciate it if you let me know that you're home for the night, or when you get in, or if you're out, like fine, I'm not trying to micromanage you or anything, but just let me know like who you're with. It'll make me feel more comfortable, or whatever the request is, as long as you're both agree to it.
Right. And respectfully, respectfully talking about these situations. And there's nothing wrong with revisiting the expectations. Be like, hey,
when you need to,
right. Be like, hey, you know what? I know we talked about this earlier on, but I just wanted to kind of go over certain things because, I see this, we're lacking this, and we have to revisit and talk. And it's bothering me.
Yeah.
So, it's good that we can have these dialogues.
Right. And when you set those boundaries, then it makes it easier to avoid the situations that you already know will make your partner feel insecure about the situation that you're in. So, yeah, it's good to talk about it because you should avoid those situations that will just kind of make your partner feel.
The Bible says, we say, avoid the appearance. Right?
It does.
It does say that.
It does say avoid the very appearance of evil.
Yeah. If you feel as if your partner has, we have to be careful too, because we don't want to be like facilitating or, making it like accommodating like a jealous partner. Yeah. So there has to be like a healthy medium, right?
Right.
It shouldn't be something that's toxic.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can't have that discussion, child, you're gonna have a long way to go.
You do.
And this also helps when you talk about like making sure that you are doing these things.
Yeah.
It reassures your partner, right? Remember, you guys are miles apart, and if you are not communicating, if you're not like, I guess, cognizant of like, hey, this makes my partner feels this way, this makes my partner feels this way, it can create a wedge in your relationship, especially if your partner like has a problem with you hanging out with the opposite sex, or them not knowing the opposite sex that
Not
you hang
knowing
out
who
with.
the people are.
Right.
Right. That's a big thing, you know, like saying, oh, yeah, I was out with Josh. And it's like, who's Josh? Wait, you
Josh?
never mentioned him before.
Right.
Wait, why didn't you tell me about him? Wait, you feel some kind of way about him? Is that why you didn't tell me that you met him? And then it's just
like,
do
you like Josh?
It's a whole thing.
And you're like, whoa, calm down, dude. Like, what is going on? Right. Yeah, but I feel as if even if you feel like it doesn't make any sense to even tell your person about this, still say it. Still say it. Still communicate, because you never know, right? Let your partner feel secure in their relationship. I should not feel insecure with my relationship and who you hang around, right? I'm going to make sure that you feel that, hey, you have nothing to worry about. Right.
Exactly. You play a big part in making your partner feel secure.
And that's facts.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I also feel like communicating or being transparent about your feelings can also help your relationship, especially when you feel like you're being neglected. Right? Yeah. A lot of times you're like, yeah, but it's long distance. I mean, it's going to feel like this, right?
Right.
Honestly, I don't feel like you are supposed to be in a relationship and feel lonely. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have a partner.
Horrible feeling.
Exactly. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have a partner. I shouldn't be married. I shouldn't have a fiance and still feel like, yo, why do I feel single? Like, it doesn't work like that.
Friend, I have felt that way before.
Girl.
It is horrible. You're like, you're just thinking in your mind, like, I got a whole man out here. Like, why am I feeling like this?
Why? I'm telling you, when we were talking about this, I was hot. I was tight. I'm not lying to you.
It
because
just brought back a lot of
I'm telling you,
trauma.
You said it. Trauma. Bro, I cannot tell you how bad it feels when you have a partner and you feel alone.
Yeah.
That is one of the most awful feelings you could ever feel. We shouldn't have that. So guys, pay attention to your girlfriends, pay attention to your boyfriends. If you guys are not communicating that you are feeling neglected, that is not fair to your partner, because sometimes they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
But if you constantly tell them, hey, I feel neglected, hey, I feel neglected, hey, I feel neglected,
yeah,
and you're not doing anything, come on, you have to show your partner that you care, and they're going to feel like you don't if there's no change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other side of communicating your feelings healthy is listening to your partner as they communicate theirs.
Yeah.
You have to listen and act. Yep.
Yeah.
So, friend, we have to close out, but I wanted to tell everyone I wanted to kind of say as well that I strongly believe that even though you're in a long distance relationship, I think those visits that you're making with each other, it can tend to lead to like romanticized ideas of each other, you know? And like the time you spend is so precious that it almost always goes so wonderful and magical. And so at some point, I really encourage you guys to get, if you're on that path already and you're really committed and you're talking marriage and everything, I think that there has to come a point when you are together, because I feel like that's another vibe you have to feel out, is to be together in the same city. So I feel like before marriage, because obviously, I mean, unless you're going to have a long distance marriage, which is rare,
right?
but I think you need to be in the same city, because there's things that you're going to see in daily life in the same city that you might have missed. Because when you're traveling and seeing each other, you're like, oh, this is so wonderful. I missed you so much. And it feels real great. Right. Don't get me wrong. But I think you have to eventually go into a period where you do have that talk about who's moving where, and let's try and see how that feels. What's our city going to be? And then have time together like that. Go to church together. See how he treats the waitress when you go out to dinner. And, there's just things. So I recommend frequent trips to see each other. Whenever that's possible. But as you grow in commitment, I think you have to start making plans to be closer in distance.
Right. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, because honestly, these things can actually help you to figure out how compatible you are with your partner. Because like you said, like when you are making those little visits, you haven't seen each other in a while. You don't got time to argue. You're just so all over your partner. You miss them.
Right.
You have 1 week and you're not letting nothing mess that week up. You are in let's spend time together mode.
Exactly. And it can feel
100%.
like a fantasy.
Right.
Right.
You guys are on top of the moon, walking on the clouds, everything. You ain't got no time to argue. You ain't got no time to like, you know, you are, hi, let's cook together. Oh, even if you don't want to do it, you're gonna be doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So those little trips back and forth, it's cute.
Right.
But you really don't get to see your partner. You really don't get to see who they are.
It's
right?
part of the journey, but it can't be the end of the journey before marriage, I think.
Right.
Well, I mean, obviously make your own decisions.
Right.
Only you know what you and your partner are experiencing.
Right.
But I recommend that it not be the final stop before marriage.
If you feel like you're going to get married to this person, if you and this person is talking about like getting married, then you should start talking about like, hey, why don't we move? Because it's hard to get engaged and then find out this is not the person that you need to be with. So I think that you need to probably like, hey, let's talk about marriage. Let's talk about trying to see if we could move closer together to figure out how this will work and see, you know, how it works, how compatible we are. So, yeah, we really hope that this helped someone.
Yeah,
that it helps someone. And if you know someone who could use this information, please pass it on to them. If you are older or you are an older listener, more seasoned listener, we love y'all, you know. But if you have children or daughters who are in their 20s, 18, who are going through relationships or what have you, send this to them so that, you know, maybe it'll help them.
Right. And if you are, because I know some people who are like this, I want to hear from you if you think that this is something that just never works. Like, you don't recommend anyone ever do it. It's never going to work. I mean, there are people who feel like that. So you could disagree with everything we're saying. You're like, oh, that's just a temporary fix. Long distance relationships cannot work. Let us know how you feel.
I've actually heard people say that, hey, they were with somebody, they were good, but they were moving and we're like, this ain't gonna work. So they just broke up.
Yep.
They didn't even try it. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I've heard that too. It's like, no, I can't do that. I mean, it's better to know that about yourself, you know, that you can't handle it. But yeah, let us know. What are we gonna pray for, friend? What are you gonna pray for today?
We just gonna pray that the Lord leads.
Make good relationship choices.
Yes, Lord. Lead them, Jesus. Lead us.
Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we love you. We praise you for who you are and for everything that you do for us. We're praying for the One Love Nation today, and any listener that is thinking about this choice, this relationship, this long distance relationship, anyone who is in the midst of it, we're praying for their strength, and we're praying that they have already adopted or will adopt healthy trust and communication styles that will make it work, Lord. And even in our general relationship lives, we're praying that we will submit to your will. We're praying that we will let you lead and that we'll pray about the choices we're making with our partners. We want to glorify you even in the choice we make for a partner. So we honor you and we love you. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. We love you guys so much.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for the support, constant support, man. I can't even tell you how much this means to us. And just hearing people's feedback, y'all are just too much. Y'all too much.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Same time, same place.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, One Love Nation. Thanks for listening to the One Love, One Faith podcast. We love our listeners and we hope you will join us again next week. Please share the One Love, One Faith podcast and always remember that each day is an opportunity to show His love and grow your faith.